What is the most Atlanta thing about you? What is something that has stuck with you through the years that you're like, you know what, this traces back to Georgia?
Oh, that's a tough question. The love of sports. I know this community loves their sports. Music. I love music. I know this is a hotbed for music. I remember growing up, and my dad did some work with LaFace Records, and being able to go into LaFace Records when Usher and Outkast were coming out, and those were cool times. And yeah, I would say those were the things that are Atlanta to me.
What was it like growing up around the Olympics, which was really a turning point in this city's history?
Yeah, it was special. Being a young guy, I didn't really know. I didn't really understand, like, well, shoot, this is the Olympics and they're in Atlanta. When's it going to be in the U.S. again? And now we're about to have it in the U.S. and L.A. Soon. But it was awesome. It was a great time to be here with all the baseball team, with the Braves doing well. The Hawks were cool and relevant. And then later on, the Falcons, with the Dirty Birds, and they go on and do their little run. So it's been great to be a part of that.
Does it feel like coming back home?
Oh yeah. I never wanted to leave. I remember kicking and screaming. I was an only child, right? And my dad was going to make us leave. We moved around a lot early in my life, so this was really my first home where we didn't move for more than 2 years. So I got a chance to have a lot of friends, some formative years. And then when my dad told me we had to move, I was devastated. And one of the things, I went to the University of Virginia, but I wanted to come back, and one of my finalists was Georgia Tech because I missed Atlanta so much. So it's great to be back now.
Did you come on a recruiting trip here?
I did. They were my number 2. I went during the Chan Gailey era, Calvin Johnson. So yeah, we had some good battles from UVA and Georgia Tech along those years.
You've worked with a who's who in the general manager world. Can we do a little GM word association?
Sure.
You've worked with a lot of people. I can give you a lot of names. I'm going to give you a name. Give me 3 things that come to mind about this GM, something that you're going to take from them. Ozzie Newsome.
Ooh, okay. Oh man, I wish I could take so much more than just 3, but the discipline, the evaluation skills, and the humility.
How about Howie Roseman?
The innovation, the creativity, and tireless worker.
Ryan Poles.
No ego, attention to detail, and he's such a good human being. Good human being.
You've had a decorated career already, being with those people, being at the top of the game. What makes you feel like now is the time, I'm ready, I can't wait for this opportunity?
Yeah, it's been a journey, right? It's been a long time coming. Hitting every single step along the way, from literally an intern or player personnel assistant back in 2008, and hitting every single step along the way, not skipping anything. You hope that it would happen quicker. Some of those days you wish you didn't have to go through that to get here. But now that I'm here, I'm so grateful to have gone through all those things. Because I feel like it's going to make me even more prepared, and I can help support, right? And I know what everybody's job is, and I've overseen a lot of the football operations in the places I've been, so I know how it all fits together, and I can help educate the people in place right now and push things forward.
You started out as an intern. I don't want to say the bottom of the.
I did.
Well,
I did.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for somebody that just reads your bio and says, "Oh, area scout"? I mean, is that thousands of miles driven? Is it a lot of fast food? What are the things you look back and say, formative memory?
Yeah, first as a personnel assistant, it's doing a lot of the grunt work. I had an old mentor of mine when I first got in. He said, the 2 toughest jobs in personnel or in football operations is the player personnel assistant and the GM. Right? And the personnel assistant, you've got to do your job, but you've got to do a lot of other people's job, right? Things slow downhill, so it was a grind. You had a lot of airport runs, picking up players, hospital visits, while you're trying to do a lot of other things and learn how to evaluate and scout. And then as the area scout, it's like you said, there's a lot of miles. There's time away from your family. There's sacrifices that they have to make that I had to make. You miss some of those, especially when your kids are young, you miss some of those times. But Somebody told me, you just don't want to drop the crystal ball. There's two balls, right? You can drop a rubber ball, right? That may be missing a practice, but you don't drop the crystal ball because you can't get those back, and that may be a recital or that may be a birthday, right? So just really trying to do that, and hopefully I continue to do that moving forward.
You said a couple times in your press conference, the cupboard isn't bare with this Falcons team. When you pop on the tape, when you're looking down this roster, what excites you?
Oh, the potential, that word, but we've got some really young talent on this roster. We've got good players that have proven themselves across the offense and defensive lines. We've got some really proven players at DB, right? So again, it's my job to continue to add to this roster, add competition to this roster, not just in those other positions, but in those positions as well, right? And I'm looking forward to getting that process started here tomorrow.
Something we hear a lot about with the Falcons from Mr. Blank on down is collaboration. You're going to be collaborating with a guy in Kevin Stefanski, who also just got on the job. First of all, did you know him before? Had you guys met, crossed paths?
We didn't know one another, but we had mutual friends, and it's funny, it was one of those things that we mentioned as we were getting to know one another. We've had so many mutual friends that said, oh, do you know Kevin or do you know Ian? You guys will love each other. So I'm looking forward to getting to know him a little bit more.
Yeah, what's that going to be like working with him and working with Matt Ryan, three guys in new positions?
Yeah, it's like you touched on his collaboration, and I know it's a buzzword, but it's not groupthink, right? You need diversity of thought. You're going to have some courageous conversations, open, honest, transparent. But at the end of the day, I feel like all three of us, I like to say it's a small ego and big mission, right? And the mission is bigger than us. So we'll get to the bottom of it, and we'll help push this team forward.
I guess Monday draft meetings start. Are you a best player available guy? Are you a draft for need guy? What's the philosophy there?
Yeah, best player available. I feel like you're kind of chasing your tail if you go for need, because one year you may not feel like you need it. And then the next year you realize, well, I did need that position, right? So best player available is the approach that I've always learned from, coming up in Baltimore and working my way up through those different industries or different organizations. So we'll bring that same approach here. Last
couple of questions for you. I appreciate all your time, as a lot of Falcons fans are looking at this team and wondering about the quarterback position. I know it's been 72 hours, don't have a full report yet, but how are you going to approach that position and the decisions that'll have to be made? Yeah, a lot of work is still yet to be done, right? We just got here. I just found out where my office was yesterday. We were going to have some talks. I'm looking forward to working with that and figuring those things out, but we've got some talented players on this roster. Last thing I want to ask you about is, in the press conference, I think a moment that will stand out to a lot of Falcons fans who are watching was when you talked about your family. When you were sitting up on that dais looking down at your wife and kids there, what was that emotion that hit you? I wasn't expecting that. It was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry. But then I kind of teared up, but that's all right, man. They're the reason I'm here. That's my why. They're the purpose. As you go on, early in your career, you have these goals that you want to obtain for yourself, and then when you have kids, your purpose changes, right? And now it's my duty to show them that it can be done. You set your goals and you work for them. It's not going to happen in your time, but it'll happen in the right time. They've been a part of this whole journey with me. They've seen me not get opportunities in years past and how those hurt. But it's my job to show them, like, you got to pull yourself back up off the mat, keep fighting, and I'm glad we're here, and I hope to continue to instill that love and passion with them moving forward. There's only 32 of these jobs. I'm sure all of them are great, right? How do you put into words being here, getting this opportunity, wife and kids in the front row, in the city that you spent some of your childhood in? It's pretty remarkable, man. It's serendipitous. It's special. It hasn't really hit me yet. My plan is just to do everything I can to bring a winner to Atlanta, and to feel a part of that, to remember that energy that we felt in the mid-90s. That energy that I remember doing I was doing the NFC Championship advance for the Baltimore Ravens as a young guy when Matt was actually playing in the Georgia Dome against the 49ers.
and the electricity in that room. You know, when you saw Samuel L. Jackson come on the jumbotron and say "Rise Up," and it was like, this energy. I want to be a part of bringing that back here for a long time coming.